What's up, everybody?
We're back.
Yes, we are. We are back in action doing podcasting about barbecues.
Yeehaw.
So I'm Rusty Monson. I am one of your hosts. This over here is Houston. He's so important. They had to name him after a very humid city. I don't know what that means. I don't know who goes to Houston and go, man, I love this place. It feels great.
Technically, I'm named after the guy the city's named after.
We've talked about this before. I don't know why, but Houston's actually super great. Anyway, guys, it's Houston. It's me, Rusty. We're your part-time hosts. Let's be honest, Houston, we're the best ones.
I think we're definitely now the A squad.
We really are. I mean, they bring in the A team today.
Varsity crew.
Exactly. So anyway, today we on the show, we have Smitty, or I guess you guys should know him as Sterling Smith from Loot and Booty.
AKA Smitty.
I really hope I don't have to say this to anyone listening. But Smitty owns Loot and Booty competition team. One of the best in the West. I would say, God, besides Sterling, there's maybe three more kind of on his level. Just killing it out here in his seasonings. I use in competition. We'll get into it with his classes and stuff, but I've taken his classes. I've bought his classes online. So he's been very helpful with me in my journey in competition barbecue. So I'm really excited to talk to him I've on here anyway for the first time.
Yeah.
So Houston, what's up, man? What's new in your world?
Not much. Just getting over the flu, man. I had the flu all last week and it was horrible.
Dude, I got sick a couple weeks back just randomly. And I was like fine for like 4 days. I was like, I'm feeling, and all of a sudden it just roundhouse kicked me in the face. It was weird. I still
came
cough a
on
little bit.
hard and fast. Mercifully, I got some crazy ass medicine, like
really? Like a doctor?
Fluzza or something. Like, I mean, it was like $150 a pill. Like, just like tore through my inside. But like within 2-3 days of taking it, like flu was gone. And I mean, I thought I was dying on Wednesday. I was like, I am gonna die. Like, this is horrible.
It's been going around, man. There's something's up. A lot of
Don't
people
get it.
Shut up, dude. Hey, dude, this week we have this we have the Hunters Expo here, and we're gonna serve about 1,000 people a day.
Oh.
And it would be just my luck to get sick. I know. You know what's funny though? I've worked in the restaurant business my whole life. And
I've never washed my hands.
Special power. Like if I was a Marvel superhero, my special power would be getting sick on my days off. I'd be like sick on my days off guy. That would be my superpower name. Because I swear to God, I'd be just like, I guess it worked out, because back in my day, in the restaurant business, you can't call out sick. So it was just one of those things. So you call out sick.
No, I mean, at least you're not sick and like missing out on working and getting paid. But
yeah,
at the
especially
same
when
time,
I was a bartender, that's tips.
It's tips. At the same time, it sucks like not getting any time off because you're sick.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to bust my butt all week. I'm going to log 32,000 steps on my watch every day. I'm going to want to die. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to relax. And all of a sudden, and then on Wednesday, I'll be fine to work again. That's what's going to happen. Mark my words. I will update you all later on exactly how it happens. And that's how it's going to happen.
I hope it doesn't. But if it does, man, if you do get the flu, get to a doctor as quick as you can and make them give you that shit. So Fluzza, it starts with an X. It's worth the money.
Okay. I will do that because, man, yeah. That would be terrible. Anyway, I don't know. What else you got? Nothing? We good?
Nah, that's about it. I mean, just, getting ready for spring, hoping spring comes. Hope the season starts soon.
Can I tell you, spring will come?
I know.
Just so don't worry about it. If you're hoping, it's going to happen. It's called science, and it's going to just naturally happen. So don't stress. Don't stress.
Sometimes it feels like it's not though, but I know it will.
Right? Yeah. Try, doing the food truck bit winter. I feel that every day. But
yeah, absolutely.
In that case, let's bring on the star of the show.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Boys, how you doing?
What's
like magic?
Whoa, there we go.
Speaking of spring, it's beautiful here in Scottsdale, Arizona right now.
Oh, yeah.
We just had the waste management open last week.
I was going to say, did you make it through the waste management?
So we used to go a lot as kids, when it was a little bit more tame than it is now. But my wife and I and her sister and her boyfriend, we went out on Monday. So it was a little chiller crowd, not as, young and passionate about golf like all these guys are. All the players, they know everybody. Actually, they don't know. They're just there to drink. But it was an awesome week, and it's awesome right now in Scottsdale.
I mean, that's cool.
And all, Nashville and Utah right now.
It's cold as hell, but I'm going to say something. That pool back there is nice in the winter. You can probably swim in it right now. But in Utah, we can ice skate on that right now. So
I mean, you can do that. You can keep that ice stuff.
Yeah, right. I know it's actually freezing here. I'm the dude that wears the shorts in the winter, no matter what. This is how I dress when it's like 19 degrees outside, But I'm still like, this winter is a little rough for me. So
it's crazy right now.
It's because I'm old. That's what happens.
The older you get, the more you're like, you know what? I just want a house in Mexico on the beach and shit.
I'm like, wait a minute. Is it colder? Yeah. I think it is. But
each passing year, I understand Florida a little bit more.
Absolutely. I get it.
I don't. You get shot down there the second you walk out of your car.
You get shot anywhere, man. People shoot people everywhere.
Particularly in Florida. I listen to True Crime podcast. I swear to God, every one of those dudes are from Florida.
Every single one.
It's a lot
every one of them.
I mean, it's that Florida meth, man. It's pretty gnarly.
I know.
That North Florida meth.
There's something in the water. I should kill my neighbor. I don't know why.
Mostly bath salts.
Exactly.
That dude that ate the guy's face off is in Florida.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. There's other places.
I'm telling you, it's bad. Okay, so anyway, we're here to talk about barbecue. If you guys didn't know, if you're just joining us,
I guess
right on cue does not right on cue weather report. But guys, we have Sterling Smith of Loot and Booty, and Jude, we're gonna do that. You just got to do it. Where did it all start? Where did you become a barbecue phenom?
Oh man, let's go back. We got to go back in the day. We got to get in the DeLorean, and go back. But I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. I was raised in the South, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia. I've known barbecue. I've been around it, but we all know competition barbecue is a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother thing. And I actually got into it I was in the Navy, and then after I got out of the Navy, I went to Arizona State University. I got a degree in finance, and I've been working in banking, commercial real estate financing, equipment financing, all that kind of stuff for several years. And then a bank out of Kansas City came to Scottsdale and opened a private wealth management and a business banking unit, and they recruited me over from a larger bank at the time, and it's UMB Bank, which is United Missouri Bank. They're the largest sponsor of the American Royal in Kansas City. So every year, the UMB Bank staff puts on what's called a Smoke and Vault, and it's an employee barbecue competition. So they'll get, employees from different regions of the bank, different states. They all come to Kemper Arena. This was 2006, 2007 timeframe. And we were a new Arizona branch, and they was like, hey, you guys want to have a barbecue team and come out and compete in this event? And we all, looked around and said, anybody know how to grill? Anybody know how to cook? I'm like, I like to grill in my backyard. I flip some steaks and some wings, some burgers. It's all good. So, all right, you're going. So I get out there, and, I see smokers, RVs. They brought me a brisket. Like, to me, it looked like a half of a cow. And I'm like, what do I do with this thing, man? I don't even know what this is. And I just became infatuated with it. It was cool. I met a lot of people, talked about barbecue. Came back to Arizona after that event in 2007, and I Googled everything competition barbecue, Arizona barbecue. And I found the Arizona Barbecue Club, which is an active club, and they were doing barbecue events and competitions. And I was like, you know what? This sounds cool. I can't play football anymore or wrestle. I'm getting older. I still like to be competitive. And so after that event in the bank, I came back to Arizona. 2 years later, in 2009, I started Loot and Booty Barbecue, and the rest is history, man. We're going into our, I think, 17th season of competition barbecue.
It's amazing.
I quit my full-time corporate job in finance and banking 8 years ago to run my barbecue line, to put it on shelves, to get it out there, to promote myself, promote my business. And then also I was working with Green Mountain Grills, and I still am, as an ambassador and a manufacturer's rep. So that gave me the ability to go to places who sell Green Mountain Grills, teach classes, use my products, and introduce the people to, what I have and what Green Mountain Grills has to offer. So it's been phenomenal. I couldn't think of doing anything else. And being able to travel all over the world and Australia 10 times for barbecue. Taught a class in Costa Rica. Oh man, where else have we been? We're going to New Zealand in April. It's just, to me, it's I have to sometimes look back at it and say, man, that's kind of cool, kind of what you've created and built in these 8 years to be able to get out there and promote a product that I believe in, that I use, and that other people are using on the circuit, which it's always amazing to see other people using my product. And to walk in a store and see it on the shelf, sometimes I just have to pinch myself because it's neat. It's kind of cool to see it grow and like I tell people this all the time, the more you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. The more you give it breath, the more you give it life, that you're going to see it grow. So to me, I was passionate about it. And it starts with that. If you're passionate about it, you love it. You can't live without it. You're sleeping at night and you're like, which way am I going to set up my trailer because the wind's coming this way? And you're GPS in the map to see how you're going to be laid out. It's crazy. Everything goes into it, gets into your soul. And I love every bit about it. And hopefully I can do this till I'm not here. That's what my plan is.
Die on the barbecue trail. I'm like,
man, I'd love to get like a GC and then
yeah, exactly. You're walking away, bomb.
Boom, done. Cover him up with some dirt.
Buried wherever he dies, there he shall be buried.
Come back with your shield or on it.
Right. I and like I said in the intro, just touched on a little bit. Your stuff, dude, is legit as fuck.
Thank you, man.
I've been using your stuff forever. It got us our 5th place call, the Jack. Got my big, Jack thing using your stuff.
Cool is that?
And we use it all the time. Love it. And all your products are really, really good. And I'm gonna say this, and this is the truth. Someone who has used many rubs. That chicken is the best, and it's not close. It is.
Thank you, man.
So stinking good.
I appreciate that. That rub's done me so well. It's done me really well on chicken, but I've been using it on pork for several years, and it's been a mistake. It was going back to the Jack. This was the 2016 Jack Daniels, and you know how sometimes Friday nights get at the Jack or any comp, you're a little foggy the next day, and you wake up and you're ready to season some stuff. So we had our pork laid out there, and it was me and Justin Cofini from Steel City. We cooked a Steel Booty that year. We had a collabo team. And we grabbed the pork all out there, grabbed some seasoning, start seasoning it, and put the bottle down. I realized I just covered my pork with my chicken rub. And I was like, you know what? I can't do anything else. Just cover it with everything. Send it. We ended up getting first place pork with a world champions in pork that day. So, Gold Star Chicken has been my base layer on the ribs and pork since 2016 now. So it's not just for chicken, but it does well on chicken. I love that seasoning in particular is an awesome base rub because you could use it as, like a SPG almost. It's just a little bit herbier, a little bit of back end kick, and it's got a little bit of citric powder in there. So, it has all those things and elements that complement poultry, but it also works on other things as well.
Yeah, I mean, it stands alone on that chicken, dude. It's great. It's fantastic.
There's some fantastic. Yeah, I agree though. There's some fantastic products.
Like,
I got a bottle of everything in my garage right now. I got a bottle of Jolly Roger in my garage right now.
That's awesome.
Oh, I forgot about that. Jolly Roger. That stuff is
I love that one.
Shit.
So that's actually
I think we're doing that on our steak is what we were doing when I last did it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's quickly become my number one seller. Everything Rub was going for a long time. And then Lowe's Hardware picked it up a few years ago. And then it's coming into Home Depot soon. So, on those shelves and seeing it on there, it's awesome to see that product go to being my number one seller because it's not your standard rub. It's not a pork rub with brown sugar and all that kind of stuff in it. It's got those. And what's unique about mine is I use a kiln dried coconut shell for the blackening agent. It's not an activated charcoal, but it is activated charcoal derived from kiln dried coconut shells. So it's a little bit sweeter, a little bit more balanced. It's not as bitter. So that flavor you get with the jalapeno and the garlic and then that color look, it really adds like a really good pop. And it's not just for color.
Does.
I love it.
I love using it if I'm going to do something like a picana.
Absolutely.
And like do it for like a taco filler, or I'm making like a beef that I'm going to like make a Latin dish out of, and I want that jalapeno bite that it has on it. Like I love that product so much.
Thank you. When I was creating that, when I'm looking at new products, new rubs and sauces, I have a base protein in mind, and tri-tip was what I used over and over and over. And I would test the product. I'd send it back to my co-packer. They would make tweaks here and there. They'd send it back to me. I'd cook with it, taste it. I think I went through 10 variations until we got it perfectly right, the balance. But tri-tip was my base protein that I kept using it on. So it loves a protein like tri-tip, like pecana, something very similar, brisket, those beefy, large roast type items. And I, besides the color, like you talked about, that jalapeno kick and that garlic comes through. It's people taste it and they're like, oh, this is beef. It's beef in a bottle. So it's made for beef.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, and we use it on SEA all the time, and it gave a great color. So when you're getting that steak, it gives a good little color on it. Or the taste in the back is what I think we use on the bottom. I don't think we use it on the top.
Yeah, do it on the bottom.
I can't remember. That's how freaking long it's been since I've done an SEA. But I think we did on the bottom because the flavor was what we wanted.
Yeah, that's what we did. Molly just did my wife just did an SCA comp in where were we? Slaborama, Bullhead City. Oh yeah, January. So she did the SCA. She took 9th in steak, and we did a little grinder. She took a little grinder and did it on the backside and put it right in there, and they like that flavor.
Yeah, that stuff's good. But so you, like you said, you've been doing this a long time. You have a line of rubs, all that stuff. And we're going to talk competition, barbecue here a little bit. You have been doing well. I mean, I'm not saying that people start well and just fade away, but it happens a lot. Absolutely. So, and you've been relevant and still to this day, just, killing it. And what do you think the key is to staying that consistent for that long in competition barbecue?
Absolutely. And, doing it, like you said, doing it this long, I've had, roller coasters, up seasons, down seasons, learning seasons. I heard somebody else in a podcast say, like, rebuilding the engine. I've had to rebuild my engine several times, especially teaching classes. When you teach classes and you get to that point, you're telling everybody exactly what you do and how you do it. A lot of times it becomes everybody's doing the same thing. So to me, having that information out there, I kind of want to try new things. I want to try a different protein a different way. I've cooked chicken 4 different times. I went from thighs to legs to thighs to wings only. So it's been, an experimental process. But to me, being able to stay, like you said, relevant and in the know is being present. I think if there's a comp in Arizona, definitely I'll be there. California, Utah, this whole area. Usually I'm going to be there because not only do I have a product, but I love it, man. I love comp barbecue. That's my golf, it's my 57 Chevy. It's my hobby. It's my pastime. And not only do I get to represent my brand and my product, I love people. I love the people out there. We have a great time. Some of these other competitors are some great friends of ours. We've traveled. Our kids have grown up together, so that community aspect of it, to me, when I'm in my trailer and I have that meat in front of me and I have the box there, there's no other thing. Nothing else matters. No bills matter. Nothing. It's about that moment right there for me. So to me, it's kind of escape too. Being in the military, a lot. Several people have issues and things. So to me, I get out of my head and I can concentrate exactly what I need to do to perfect what's in front of me and on that plate. So to me, it's therapy as well. I get in that trailer and get in the zone, and sometimes you can't even talk to me. I'm in space. I'm in a whole nother realm. So that part of it to me is my hobby, my escape. I'll do it as long as I can. In terms of being relevant, I mean, you gotta do it. You gotta be on the know. You gotta be in social media, talk to people. I have friends who do this. We talk each other. We talk a lot, having friends who do it as well and getting ideas and picking their brain and then picking your brain. You can bounce ideas off of each other. It's good to have a team or like a network of people that you can do that and get inspired from. So it's been hard. It's been tough, but I love it. I love it so much. And I think if you love it and you're passionate about it, you're going to continue to do well if you really want to. This competition barbecue, and you guys know it's not easy. It's a lot of work, and a lot of times to get your balls kicked in. You work your ass off and get your balls kicked in. You're like, why am I even doing this? but then you got to step back. Right. Everything's for sale. I'm selling everything right now. But you know, at the end of the day, you're doing it to me, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for me to get whatever out of it. And I happen to win. That's awesome. I love it. That's what kind of feeds you, you know, those knowing that you're doing it right, knowing that people, you know, validate what you're doing, cooking meat in the random parking lot and cold, hot parking lots, windy, rainy, stinky, you know, it's not glamorous, but I just love it. So I think that's how I stay relevant, is just being in there, being in the know and being present, you know.
You kind of
And
touched
loving
on
it, I think.
well,
Say
yeah.
again?
I said, and loving it, I think. I think
You have
I
to.
think that's your X factor, which I think that has to be the X factor.
If you get, you know, like I said, kicked in the ball several times and you keep coming back, you got to love something about it, man. There's got to be a hook there, right?
Exactly.
So you mentioned like doing classes, and then do you do a class and then just kind of reinvent the whole wheel, or do you still do what you teach, and how does that work? Like, because then you'd have to I mean, obviously you wouldn't have to do it because you would be doing it all the time, but how does that work? Like, you're like, oh crap, can't do that anymore. I remember doing with Jerry. He was like, I got to change my recipe once I do the class. You know?
Oh my God. It's small tweaks at a time. Everything to me is small changes. To me, I can track things better if I make small tweaks as opposed to a drastic overall change. Take the engine out and put a new one. Not necessarily put in a new engine, but change the one you have, modify it, and make small things to make it more efficient, more better, you know, taste wise. We're always looking for that tenderness. Tenderness is always key. And I think tenderness changes from year to year, just like flavor does. You know, sometimes this flavor is hitting, the next year it's not. Sometimes, you know, a 200 chicken was nailing it. Now you got to take it to 210 almost, you know, it's got to be like super soft. So, you know, you got to follow the trends on the taste and the flavor profile and all that to continue to do that, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm not, you know, I haven't competed in a minute, so I mean I never got to the point where I had to do that. So it's just always interesting to think, you know, you see the you know, Sterling Smiths of the world, the Brad Lanigers of the world, just doing their thing all the time and still doing, you know, well, winning.
Yeah, that dude's on a whole nother level though. I mean, I don't know what he is doing, but I mean that dude's got pixie dust or something. I don't know.
Do you get to the point where you practice a lot, or are you just kind of practicing as you go? Or are you?
I used to, you know, when I got into it, I would practice a lot, or if I was, you know, trying to perfect something like wings. You know, when I started doing wings, I cooked them all the time because, you know, I wanted to get it down. I think at this point, you know, my cook right now is the practice before the next comp I have. If there's something I really want to work on, like last week I ran chicken, I ran some chicken legs, and then I ran ribs yesterday. So every now and then, and my wife says, she says this all the time. It's like, are you cooking for sport again? I'm like, probably, because, you know, I don't cook sides, and it'll be like the ribs are done at 2 on a Wednesday. I'm like, what are you gonna do with these? I'm like, I'll probably have a bite and then give the rest to your parents or something. But she calls it cooking for sport. So, okay, I'll cook for sport every now and then, and just to get that bite, see how it is, and test maybe a new temperature. Oh, what if I pull one of these off at 207, let the others ride? And, you know, I'll test a lot of feel and touch a lot when I'm doing the testing. I think to me, flavor is easy to change. That's a new rub, a new sauce. You know, getting that right feel and that touch is to me right now in comp barbecue, that texture is really nailing. You got to nail that texture.
Yeah, there's like a secret. So I listen to Darren War's podcast a lot, and he talks about how he'll just go back to, you know, the Cimarron docks and the smoking guns, you know, and or whatever the hell he has and all that stuff. And so
still a great rub.
You know, oh yeah. Whether he's lying or not is another story, but like you said, it comes down to tenderness and practicing that. And interesting how you say that tenderness changes too. Is that like a regional thing, or do you think it's just as the times go, we're just like, you know what, we're used to this chicken. What if it was softer and they all of a sudden like it? Do you think that they're evolving, is what you're saying, or de-evolving?
Maybe? Maybe they're evolving. And honestly, I like a softer bite myself. I've had it. You know, it eats a lot better. It tastes a lot better. A softer bite's better than a little chew on it. A softer bite tastes better, and you're probably going to get a higher taste score. But I think that's just something that has evolved over time. And eventually, if I was a judge, and I don't judge a lot, so I can't really say, but I've tasted food at a certain temperature and I've tasted at higher temperatures. So I kind of know that myself. Whether it's evolving or not and whether it's regional, I think it's just KCBS wide. As it continues to go, more teams continue to get better. And you've actually seen that in the last several years. I mean, teams are getting better. You got to be dead on. Like, if you're going to win a comp, you got to be dead on. You got to nail it, because every team there's so much information out there. I mean, I teach classes, there's internet classes, top level teams, Brad teach classes. All these guys didn't tell you what they do. So that information's out there. And so you have to be dead on. You have to nail every single part of your cook these days to win. And I just think that tenderness is where it's at. You got to focus on that. I do remember my pork being back in the day, it had more bite to it, and I would score well with it. But these days, it has to be like perfect, like all apart in your mouth almost,
Yeah, interesting.
Got to just melt.
Because and it's just like we evolve, and then all of a sudden someone tries something and it works, and then everyone's doing it now. Because like, it's funny, one little I mean, everyone's just like a moth to the light, when something happens. It could just be one little thing, like, hey, like you have Harry Sue cooking his chicken at 145 degrees. Then all of a sudden, next a couple of years later, we're doing 217 degrees, and then
easy, right?
Everyone does it, it's just like it just everyone goes to it.
And not even that, even the processes and the ways people do something. I mean, back in the day, do you remember a brisket caddy or anything to put your meat in to form it a certain way? Everybody's cooking with the bread, little things like that. And it's kind of like the evolution of NASCAR. The cars are getting lighter and faster and better.
Next gen car,
it is. And there's all these tools to help
next gen barbecue.
The next gen, exactly. It's just it's cool to see. Honestly, I love it, because that's the progression of everything, is to make it better, to make it more efficient, to make it kind of easy for us to sit in that trailer and do what we do. So I'm always learning and staying on top of that kind of stuff to see what people are using and what they're hitting. And social media is great for that. You can just scroll through all these team pages, and most of them show their pictures of their boxes, what practice cooks. You're going to zoom in and look at it. Oh, look at that. That's that. And that's that. Their information's there. You just got to find it.
You always look in the background. Oh, wait, what's in? Okay.
Oh, yeah. How many times have you zoomed in on a picture like, okay, what is he pouring in there?
You have like a smidget of it. I go, okay,
exactly.
I think that might be Arizona.
I know that label.
So I know you've also said, like, from time to time you got to swap the engine out. So like, I'm curious, like, what does it take for you to like burn a program down and just start?
I'm burning wings down right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm burning wings to the floor. I'm
really
okay. I think I'm okay with burning it to the floor, because I've done well. I got my 180. I've been waiting to get a 180 in just
congratulations.
I did it in Vegas. Thank you. In Vegas this past December. It was a 6th place, but it was a 180. I'll take it. Doesn't matter. And then I know 6th place chicken with a 180.
6th place with a 180.
I told you, people are cooking better. And I did a double in NorCal, and I turned in wings both days, and they got absolutely demolished, just crushed. So that engine's coming out, and I'm throwing a new one in. So that's why I'm going back to some legs. My last KCBS GC was with turning in legs. And so I think I'm going to go back to take that engine out, throw that chicken leg engine in.
Yeah. More of a feeling, or is it just like I've had a particularly bad performance, or?
Yeah, I'll run something several times, and I cook a lot on feeling, and I'm very, it may sound weird, but I love being in tune with the earth. And when people cook with me, they'll be like, what time are you doing something, Mom? I don't know. The earth will tell me. The barbecue will tell. Listen to it. Look at it. Look at the grill. Listen to the earth all around you. It'll tell you when to do something. So I'll take a lot of that earth intuition into me and say, you know what? It's probably time to let that ship sail. And, maybe it'll come around in a couple of years, but the earth told me. And so it was time. It was time to let it go.
Just touch on that for a second. When I went to culinary school, they were big. Our teacher was big on senses, obvious, but listening, hearing, feeling your food, which is weird. But at the same time, you have to have it, just feel it. Like now I can cook at home, and I know when my chicken's done I can be in another room, I hear it. I'm like, oh, chicken's
done. Yeah. Or you can
done.
smell it. Start
Yeah,
opening.
you can smell it. You can smell where it's at.
Like,
I could
okay,
hear
so
the inside go. It's the. I'm like,
you
it's
got to
done.
be in tune with the. I think I talk about a lot of that in my cook and my classes is being there, being in the present. Don't just go by a script. Cooking by a script is maybe at the beginning, but you need to be there. You need to be in tune. You need to know if I put this piece of meat on at this time, at this temperature, based on how I trimmed it in X amount of time, 2 hours and 13 minutes and 17 seconds, I may need to wrap this, or look at it and touch it throughout the cook. People say if you're looking, you're not cooking. That's bullshit. I look all the time. I'm looking. I'm making sure that thing is right. And when it's right, the earth's going to tell me. I'm going to pull it off and take it to the next step. So to me, it's really the cooking in steps. Get your color, get your smoke, boom, make it tender, hold it, rest, and finish. That's pretty much what we're doing. And it's really about, getting that right tenderness, holding it properly, and then putting the right pieces in the box, touching everyone, feeling it, feel how tender those ribs are. Boom, touch every single piece of meat I put in that box. I'm going to do one of these guys too, all along it to see how it feels when they bite into it. What's it going to feel like? So I'm touching a lot of my food.
Yeah. And it, it's like you said, get in tune with a lot of people when they, what temperature do I cook that to? Like, oh shit, I don't know.
I can give you an idea, but it's also, like I said, a lot of it's that feel. Even on chicken these days has to have a feel. Back in the day, I wasn't doing a chicken feel. I was cooking at the temp. Oh, it's got this temp. It's gonna be all right. Now I'm pushing that chicken probably 6-7 more degrees until it just goes in. That thermopin just goes in like butter. When she's butter, man, as long as she's not blowing out, pull her out, let her rock. So, texture and that feel these days are really what I'm focusing on.
That's gonna be the new competition buzzword, is that chicken like brisket, and it just melts in like butter.
It is. You just bite into it and it's like almost nothing left, but the bone is like, okay, all right. And you see all the judges. I mean, no offense, but they're all white dudes. As you get older, you lose taste buds. Half of them are out there smoking cigars or cigarettes, drinking coffee, coming in, trying to taste your immaculate barbecue. Man, just make that shit tender. Make it tender. That's what they want, man. Yeah. Don't make your teeth fall out.
But and that's the thing, is like when with judges, that's funny, getting old. I was in Arizona, so I famously hate Arizona.
Famously.
It is. It's a thing. Okay. I'm very famous.
They're not too fond of your stuff. I got some places like that.
It's terrible. And then I find out, I've said this before, that there's probably in the West Coast more master judges in Arizona than anywhere else. So I was like, oh, well, then I suck. That's on me.
But what was a good, when I came up, and it was kind of before Barbecue Pit Masters, Barbecue Pit Masters came on, and boom, a bunch of teams came in. I kind of got into it a little bit before that. And at that time, right after Barbecue Pit Masters into it, not only a bunch of teams got into it, a bunch of judges got into it, right? Mm-hmm. So what do judges need to do to be a master judge? Obviously, they have to judge 20 events, right? And then either compete in an event or cook with a team. So around that time, when all these judges are coming up on 20 and they were reaching out to teams to cook with, this was on the AZ Barbecue Forum. Every single time I saw one of those, I told them to come cook with me. Come cook with me to get your masters. And I did that for a reason. I want to show them what a 9 was. This is a 9. Don't be throwing out 9s. Everybody spends money out here and does all that, but some are doing it better than others, and you could tell. It's obvious. And that's every competition you're going to have. You're going to have here and here. That's just how competition works. There's going to be a winner and a loser. So I really wanted to show them, this is what a 9. This is perfection. This is time. This is energy. This is love. Taste that. Taste what I did, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to make it a 9. So there's probably at least 10 to 15 master CBJs who have cooked with me to get their master in the West Coast here.
Yeah, and I've had it happen twice, and it's nice for me too, because they'll tell me what they like and what they see, and
I want this honest feedback. I'm tell me right now, if you're sitting at a table, don't blow smoke at my ass. Yeah. For real. If it's an 8, tell me. Yep. And then I'll smack it out of your hand and say, don't eat it again.
Don't insult me like that for my family.
Hey, get out of this tent right now.
20 paces, motherfucker.
Yeah. Exactly. But I love doing that. It's it's much education for me because I'm asking them questions as well. You know, what do you look for? Hey, are you right-handed? Are you left-handed? How would you pick up that piece of meat? You know, I'm asking questions like that. I want to know how they're gonna, if they see it in the box, how would they pick it up? That tells me if I want to, you know, a little trick I do in classes is I say, how many people are right-handed? And most of them, usually 90% are right-handed. So if you're right-handed, usually you're gonna use your right hand to take that piece out of the box. So, you know, on ribs, you can favor a certain side, you know, to get a little bite for them. So a lot of that is asking them, kind of getting into the judge's head a little bit. Cause like I said, I've never judged. I just know kind of common sense what I would do if I was sitting there, but not everything's common sense my common sense isn't the same as everybody else's. So it's education, like I said, for me, as much as it is for them, because I want to see how they're going to get into that plate.
Yeah. And yeah, with judging, it's our first GC. I think one of the judges came and, you know, was doing a practice with us, and I was asking him about stuff, and he had me a few changes, and that's when we got our first GC. And I think it was because of those changes.
Absolutely.
They made a huge difference. Those small details, but they made a big impact.
And that's things that you learn by having a judge cook with you and you asking questions as well.
And there's not a judge alive that wouldn't come. Even if they're not a master judge, man, you see them around and say, hey, you know, they'd love it. I mean, that's why they're doing it. You know, free, excellent barbecue. So
yeah, I mean, they love it as much as we do.
Yeah, get them involved. But so when I first started competition barbecue, I did a few classes before I got started. Yours was one of them. We went down to Arizona, a bunch of us from up here. I'm like, oh, dude, somebody from the doing class. Go. So we head down.
Still, before he famously hated it.
It was a great class.
I love Arizona. It's just the judges don't like me. And you have to understand, you can't hate me, so it's got to be them, right? It's Arizona that sucks, not me.
Right.
Come on, man.
It's like me and Paris. Man. Never going back.
Right. So we took your class, and God did it help. In fact, it's funny because I just found my notes over here for the other day, and I had them, and I was reading through them, but. You're known. I mean, I'm not going to say you're known for chicken. That's not a thing but your chicken, when that dropped on the Barbecue Academy, which by the way, everyone here got, that was like, oh, what we can do Smitty's class, get his chicken, how he does it, man. Hell yeah. Let's go get that. So if you haven't done that,
in your living room and do it in your pajamas.
So we learned a ton in that, and still probably the best brisket I've ever had that you did. We learned your brisket recipe. That was just amazingly good.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. That's when I'm teaching classes. I want you guys to taste what I'm doing. You know, I'm gonna show you.
I have a million notes, just thousands of them, because it was just so much information. And the way you do it is like you had it open. We were asking questions as you're teaching, and you didn't really lose a beat. So you're just like doing your thing, boom, 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 question, boom, 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 and you're back to it. So it was very informative, and it was awesome class. I think we all went away from that like, oh hell yeah. Here we got this.
Awesome. That's good to hear. I love that. I love that feedback to tell me that, you know, this is what people want to know. So I'm gonna tell them.
Well, when your class dropped on Barbecue Academy, Barbecue
Champs
Academy. I think everyone's like, oh shit, get text. Hey, Smitty's thing, go buy it. Got it. Okay. But the live class that you did is I love online classes. I think they're the best. But doing a live class, you get the benefit of trying the food. And I think that benefited me doing that with you because the food there was something to it, the way you explained it, how it is, you know, the feel, and you get to feel that and taste it. So, absolutely. And you mentioned you do classes. So, and you're doing one in New Zealand, you're doing one
in Brainerd, Minnesota at the Smokestack Barbecue Supply, April. What weekend is that? I think 11th and 12th weekend. I'll be there. And then the week after, I'll be in New Zealand at a Barbecues and More teaching a class, and then competing in a New Zealand Barbecue Association event, which I haven't done yet.
Is this in April, you said?
Yes, April.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Brainerd in freaking February. Damn.
April.
You that'll be your online classes on your website too, right?
Say one more time.
You can get to your online classes on your website too as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
So through LutenBootyBarbecue.com, there's a link for classes and it links you directly into BBQ Champs Academy. I have chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket, all 4 meats, and I show you what I do in competition barbecue on all 4. Obviously, things change time from time. We talked about rebuilding and tweaking, but really, what's cool about that class is it's the base and the fundamentals. Really never changes. You know, that texture, getting that color, the color, wrap, hold, finish. You know, that's kind of the base, but when you have that base and kind of know what to feel, what to look for, you can intermingle flavors here and there easy. Injections, all that kind of stuff is easily interchangeable in and out. But knowing that base of what to look for, how to present it, what kind of the judges are looking for, and what to focus on, that kind of never changes.
Yeah, and it's nice because, like I said, I have a lot of notes here, and I can read those notes taking your class. I can still taste the food, so I know what it tastes like. But I'm a shitty writer, and if I had so I have your classes online, and then I've taken your class, and I'll go to that class and I'll rewatch it. And I'm like, oh, okay, and it's funny. You watch them once and you go through the whole thing. You're like, okay, I got it. And you're, oh, I'm gonna recap, and you'll see something you missed, like blatantly obvious. Like,
right.
Oh, you can watch that thing 5 times and go, oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that's what's really cool about the both, the in-person classes and then having the online available. The online, you can just watch as many times as you want to. You can cook along with it step by step if you want to and do exactly. But, obviously you're not tasting that food. And to me, tasting that food and being in a live class, that's kind of obviously important too, because you get to taste that texture, exactly. I have people come up in classes. I'll give them the Thermapen, feel this, touch this. This is that texture. Feel this one. It's a little tough, right? Right. So maybe we want to push that one. So you kind of get that hands-on and you get that flavor. But it's the best of both worlds. Like Rusty said, you can do the in-person class and then go online. You have all the information there, and you have it in your library, so you can watch it now, 6 months from now, a year from now. As long as you want to watch me on your TV talking about meat, I'll be there.
You said you have a group of barbecue people, and we did too. We all got the class, and we are all talking about the chicken. All right, we're doing chicken legs now, and we're all watching the video talking
I need to
about.
Go back and take that class. Actually, probably I should my own chicken leg
class. Own chicken class. Like we're doing wings so long. And by the way, the wings I
got a discount code for myself.
The wings I had in oh shit, man, why do I always forget this town? It's my favorite town in Utah. It just went away. What is it, Smitty? In the hot ass place.
Hurricane?
No.
Oh, not Moab.
Anyway, it's hot as hell. You had wings there, and dude, those wings were
what you're talking about.
Top notch. So I don't know why you're getting rid of those things. Those were. Whoa.
The Earth told me. Remember, the Earth said.
Well, okay, got to listen to the Earth.
Eggs are in you argue with the Earth.
How can you argue with the Earth, bro? You can't.
Right.
2025 is year of the chicken leg.
I was arguing with the Earth, and then I got arrested. And
like, see, it never turns out well when you argue with the
Earth here with us now, Rusty? Yes, it is.
Oh man. But yeah, I love doing both of them, and to be able to go down to New Zealand and teach a class is really cool. And to compete,
that's gonna be wild.
I get to cook lamb again. What's really cool about some of these events, especially in Australia and New Zealand, they have lamb as a category. And I've won lamb twice in Australia, which is really cool. 2017 and 18, I was the Australian lamb world champion at 2 other Kingsford Invitational events. So I'm excited for that as well.
That's way cool. And if you want to learn how to cook lamb,
your equipment there.
Oh, yeah. So I don't.
What are the logistics of an Oceania cook?
What's really cool about having friends in the circle of barbecue is they're international. They're not just here. I've had friends in Australia. I got friends in New Zealand. When they come over and compete at the Jack and the American Royal, we bring equipment for them, especially being hooked up with people like Green Mountain Grills, which has distribution all over the world. We have retail stores in New Zealand and Australia, which sell my product, which sells Blues Hog, Green Mountain Grills, pretty much every grill you can think of. We can just fly in, go to a barbecue store, and pretty much get about 80 to 90% of what we use in competition barbecue there in their own country. So we don't have to travel with anything. And what's cool, like I said, is that barbecue community comes together. They hook us up with tables and tents and vice versa. We all help each other out because it's barbecue's international, man. It's not just Memphis, Texas, Kansas City, man. Barbecue's worldwide.
Actually, in reality, he's got a stipend where his contract says only green M&Ms, and you have to like polish his
blue.
He's got the Van Halen riders in his contract.
Do you know who I am?
You don't know me. Google me.
But also, but I don't. Since we've talked last, I haven't really talked about the books.
That's crazy. I wrote 2 books. I could barely read. That's.
So you did one on like rub sauces, and then just one on straight up how to do barbecue. Your lamb recipes in
So
there.
it was really cool. This was probably 2 years before the publishing company reached out to me about the complete barbecue cookbook. They approached me with another book, and it was, writing about an electric smoker, like an electric smoker cookbook. And honestly, I've never cooked on an electric smoker, so I passed on it, and I said, I don't want to give you some bullshit recipes. I never cooked on this. So they came back, and I said, well, let me know if anything else comes open. 6 months later, they reached out to me and said, hey, we got this project called the Complete Barbecue Cookbook. It's really about just getting in your backyard and cooking. We'd love for you to work with this, fill in all our content, do all the recipe development and building. And I said, absolutely, let's go. I was excited. And then COVID hit, this was 2020, which was kind of a blessing in disguise when you're writing a book, because I did nothing but get into my backyard here, light up the grill, and I recipe developed. That's all I did for several months. And it was tough kind of at the beginning. I kind of had an outline of what they were looking for. And then my realization came was, you know what, you've taught all these barbecue classes. Why don't you just teach a barbecue class in the book? And then it just flowed, man. You couldn't stop. I had to limit myself, because when it comes to talking about barbecue and this, I kind of get, passionate about it. I want to tell you everything. So, once I realized that, hey, just teach a class, the words just kind of flowed, and it kind of just came together. And having that time in my backyard to do recipe development when all the classes were shut down, comps were gone. So it allowed me that time to get back here. And then right after that book came out, the same publishing company hit me again and said, okay, we have another project called the Ultimate Book of Barbecue Sauces. It's about sauces, marinades, rubs, and some recipes in there, and then talk about this stuff. I said, absolutely. I was fresh off of writing the Complete Barbecue Cookbook, so it kind of just flowed right into the next one, because I was already in that writing vibe, already in that mode, kind of knew how it worked, how the structure was. So that one kind of popped out right after it, and it was kind of cool to see that too. Like I said, rubs and sauces on the wall. But to see, my book published with my name on it, that these are all my words that people are reading, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy still.
I just ordered them both on Amazon.
Hey, that's awesome. Thank you for that. But if you can cancel that order and go to www.lutenbootybarbecue.com, and I'll actually sign your books and send them to you if you order them from lutenbootybarbecue.com. Amazon's great, but it's not a small veteran-owned business like mine.
Yeah, here we go. Order cancel. Boom.
Oh, you're the best.
Take that, Amazon. Take that, Bezos.
There you go. I'll sign them. Signature, kiss if you want me to, whatever you want.
Mine was kissed. It's pretty cool. It's very
lipstick mark.
Multiple times.
It smells like cheap whiskey, but it's fine.
Yes, more like Mad Dog.
No, they're really good books. Like I said, I have both, so love it.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time and energy and
love
love into them, so I'm glad that people actually read them. I was like, nobody's gonna read this, and they actually do. So it's just kind of neat.
Yeah, they're really nice, especially when I was coming up, doing the barbecue food truck and stuff. To be honest, I had had a few books on it, and I had yours, and I was just taking ideas from stuff, and like, I like that. What Smitty's saying there, I'm going to throw this in here.
Yeah,
so it was helpful.
That's what I love about recipes is you could do whatever you want. Cooking's open. Nobody invented cooking that we know of, right? I mean, I don't know who invented cooking, so do it your own. Somebody says, "Oh, you can't do that," but why not? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it. It may not work, but hey, I'm gonna try it. And at least I know, So that's what's really cool about what we do with cooking and the culinary things is we experiment and try things, and to me,
it's jazz music,
which is awesome. Say again.
It says jazz music.
Yes, totally. Throw something in there. Throw a saxophone if you want.
That'd be weird. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's a saxophone. Just stuck
Barbecue
it in
saxophone.
Exactly.
It's not very good. It's a little tough.
It blows.
Oh no.
Dad jokes.
Oh,
I got tons of them.
No. I mean, looking back on it now, it's so obvious, but yeah, that was funny. I like. Okay,
That was good.
That was a good one. So, what's next, man? Like, what do you got going? I mean, obviously, we talked about Brainerd, we talked about New Zealand, talked about that, the books, going to Barbecue Champs Academy, getting those classes. and again, I'm telling you guys, those are legit. Every one of them. Like we went from. I say this a lot. Take classes. It's the best. We went to your class. We came back up here. First comp out the gate, third place. Second
Awesome.
place, and it was because we learned the right techniques and how to do stuff, and we learned how to do it, and we didn't have to spend years learning the hard way.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely, very, very beneficial. But besides those things, I mean, what do you have coming next? You got like anything crazy coming down?
Oh man, I mean, besides barbecue and all the travels, we got some events coming on. Man, my son's graduating high school this year, so he just got accepted to ASU, Arizona Go Devils, in the WP Carey School of Business, which I graduated from. So we're getting him already. He's going to be in the Sun Devil marching band also. So it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see him, go to that next level and get his business degree. And who knows what he's going to do afterwards? There's a whole barbecue business right here that, I may need some help with someday, but we're really focusing on a little bit of family time right now and getting him through that process, especially freshman year in college, and working with my wife and him fleeing the house and making sure we're all there. You know how it goes. So that's really exciting in our lives. But continue to do what we do, man. I love barbecue. I'm going to compete. I'm going to teach, and I'm going to continue to just spread barbecue love whenever I can.
Yeah. And like I said, you gotta guys get. If you're in Brainerd, what Brainerd is that like?
Brainerd, Minnesota, the Smokestack Barbecue Supply. Brainerd, BRAIN.
Fargo. That's what I'm thinking of. The movie Fargo.
Oh my God! So okay, yeah,
I think they're a little different.
Are they?
Not too far. I'm pretty sure it's up in that same area. And I've been going to Shields Brisket Academy for the last 3 years, and it's in Fargo, North Dakota, and it's in April. And usually it's a beautiful time to go there with the snow and the wind and the negative 15 degrees coming out of Scottsdale. So I love Fargo. It's great. The Holiday Inn there is phenomenal. Actually, if you go to the Holiday Inn in Fargo,
no, by God, Brainerd's
you're gonna
way
have
the
a
hell up
blast.
there.
I don't know where the hell they. I've never been to those places before. I don't
Brainerd
know.
is way the hell up there.
That's what's cool about doing
classes.
classes. I've been to a bunch of these, small little towns. You get to come in, pull my product off the shelf, show somebody how to teach some awesome tri-tip ribs, brisket for their friends and family, and be the star of their show back in their cul-de-sac. I love doing that. And to me, that's kind of helped grow my brand as well as being able, you go to a barbecue store, you see that wall, how many rubs and sauce are up there? It's almost kind of intimidating. You're like, what do I do? It is. I think I got a cool logo. It stands out. And then once you taste the product and you use it, you're like, you know what, this is a legit product. And it's done well for me. So, man, I love traveling to all those little towns and cities and, just meeting everybody. And
I bought my trailer from Jason Sticky from Team America.
Yes. Loves
he had a Luton Booty sticker on the very back, and it's weird. It's faded out, and it's the only sticker on the back of our food trailer. It's
still there.
Luton Booty outline. Well, I have one inside on my truck, my but it's just funny because it's just I never took it off.
I'll give you a new one for it. I'll give you a new one to go right over it.
There you go. And but there's a lightning round that I'm going to turn over to Houston.
Oh, lightning round! I love this. Like mustard ketchup kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We can't tell you. It's not a lightning round if you know the questions.
All right, you gotta give me a second. I didn't realize it was coming up. I didn't even pull my questions up.
You gotta be on, dude. You gotta be ready, man. I don't mess around. I don't mess around.
It's on pro level podcast.
That's right, man.
No bush league stuff. No, this bush league stuff, man.
Yeah,
I got it. We're pretty low in production.
I think you have the ball a lot.
Straight bush league, 100% bush, out of the bush.
Good heavens! I had no idea we were already at that point. All right, I found it. There we go.
Oh, he popped in. The producer had to pop in. Like, listen.
Oh man, did you see that?
That
was some fight club
You're
right there.
Fired.
Oh man.
Got him.
Sorry, Houston.
I didn't realize he was on in the background.
You lost your job.
Man, the boss is watching.
I feel like you would suck at
let's go.
We are ready for this. Let's do it. Favorite thing to cook at home?
Mexican food. Anything Mexican.
Anything Mexican.
I love Mexican.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. It's fantastic.
Enchiladas.
All right. Oh, yeah. Favorite comp category?
Chicken.
Okay.
Chicken. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, I just say, are we talking about it too? I
No,
think.
no. We're just ping ponging.
Okay. We're not
Ping
doing
pong.
lightning
Here
and
we go.
thunder. We're just doing the lightning.
One thing that's always in your trailer. Can't say Thermapen.
Paper towels. Oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
I can't do a comp without paper towels. I'll be lost.
Absolutely. All right. Walk up song.
Mama said knock you out. LL Cool J. Don't call it.
Oh, boy.
Been here for years.
That's a good one.
That's my jam.
That is a good one. All right. One thing that you would tell yourself when you first got started that you know now.
Oh, that's a great question. I think we've hit on it a lot tonight. Is you really focus on like tenderness. Get your tenderness right. Get in the backyard, feel every single piece of meat, and then taste it. Get that tenderness right. It took me a while. It took me several kind of years actually, and I'm still working on it to this day. That proper tenderness. So I would say focus on that. Don't worry about rub sauces. Those will come. Get that tenderness right.
Tenderness. All right. Beach or mountain vacation?
Beach, totally. Pirate, baby, all day.
Nice. Yeah. It goes with the theme.
I mean, why not?
If it was said mountain, it would have been weird. Yeah.
Beach, Navy guy, pirate theme.
I'm on the beach.
Got
baby.
it.
We're looting.
All right. And last but not least, favorite moment in barbecue so far?
I got several, but I gotta tell you, this was Huntington Beach in I think it was 2013, and it was a kids queue there, and the winner of the kids queue got to have their recipe in the Operation Barbecue Relief cookbook that
Nice.
went out that they did, and my son got first place kids queue, and my daughter got second, so he got to have his Jimmy's Epic Burger in the Operation Barbecue Relief cookbook because he won that kids queue.
Heck yeah.
To me, that was the coolest thing.
That's
It's
cool.
a solid moment.
I want to get my kids into it because they love cooking. I'm like, you should come to a barbecue comp with me, and man, that would just be the coolest, dude.
And it's just a small space.
Oh my god,
it's cool.
That's way cool. That was brought to you by Brothers Q Barbecue Supply, right, Houston?
Heck yeah. Brothers Barbecue Supply. Heck yeah.
Great barbecue supply store. I'm pretty sure they sell my stuff.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out. He said.
If they don't, then
they don't, then they should.
I know a guy to get him.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so we're gonna bounce here, man. We appreciate your time. Again, appreciate you always. You've helped me a lot in my barbecue journey. I really think it would have been a bigger struggle for us if it wasn't for you. And then on down the line, you've helped with questions, tried my food,
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate coming on. I love spreading knowledge, spreading fun, and check me out at lootandbootybarbecue.com on Instagram and Facebook, and my website's www.lootandbootybbq.com.
And look for the rear rubs, man. I'm telling you guys, if you're out there and you're not, just do it. And
so yeah, real quick, Ace Hardware is my #1 retailer. Every Ace, True Value, Do It Best, Shields. We have Home Depot, Lowe's picked up a lot of mom and pop barbecue stores across the country. I love mom and pops; they're bread and butter. So go see one of their local barbecue stores, and or go see lootandbootybarbecue.com.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to shout out, or any?
I love to
places
shout out.
They can find you.
Absolutely. I work a lot with Green Mountain Grills, awesome family-owned company. I've used them for years. Rest of you've seen them all over me, carrying them all over the West. Love Green Mountain Grills, love the grill, love the family, love what they're doing for barbecue. Tim at Blues Hogs has been a great sponsor of mine. Charcoal, rubs and sauces. Prairie Fresh, I work with Corte Meats. Those guys are the best in the business. Great briskets, great Prairie Fresh prime products. So a lot of great businesses I work with. They're all awesome. And thank you guys for your love and support.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your military service too, man. And
cheers. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time.
Your service in barbecue. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
Good seeing you.
Heck yeah.
Well, that was Smitty from Loot and Booty.
Woohoo.
So yeah, big fan of his stuff. I mean it. Like that stuff is legit good. I mean,
it really is.
Yeah, if you're not using it, dude, it's gonna change everything. We do. I don't know. I should have asked this, but I like to grind it a little bit. The chicken stuff, just a little, but give it a little buzz. But
get a little finer.
just for the competition stuff. But when I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm just sprinkle it on everything. So yeah, give it a shot. It's good stuff. Take the class. I've taken not only the online one, but the personal one. And yeah, just Google Loot and Booty, you know?
I am glad he mentioned Ace Hardware though, because that's exactly where I bought that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you tried it on chicken yet? Have you tried it?
So like I've got the everything, which I've mostly just put on either like butts or ribs, and then I've got the Jolly Roger, which I've really only done on like picanas and steaks so
Yeah.
far.
We put on steak all the time. I went through a whole bottle just doing steaks from just home, and we just sear them with that stuff on it. It's so good.
I do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and it's like I said, you can't miss on that one. That's one of those. I mean, a lot of people are doing really well in the, there's some hits and misses, but there's no misses in his stuff. He does a really good job with it. It's pretty crazy. So
no, it's very good product.
Yeah, it is. That's all I got, man. I'm gonna go eat some tacos, I think.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what the wife makes. She never makes dinner. I always do, but she's making it tonight, so we'll see how it goes.
Same. I don't think my wife can cook water.
I'm like, can you coarsely chop this? Like, sure, I'm like, not cut in half, babe. I'm just like, that's not how you do it.
Less coarse than that.
The bubbles are boiling. That's why they're boiling. It's called boiling. The bubbles are boiling water. She's a great artist, though. She does everything else very well, but just I'm the cook of the house. She just never does it. So it's what it is. All right, man.
Hey,
well, if I survive this week, then I'll see you next time.
Right back at you.
Yeah. Have a good one, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.
That's all, folks.